Now, how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? You feel well? Can I get you something? Want a glass of water?
Chris Cunningham first made a name for himself in the 90s by designing robots and creatures for Clive Barker and David Fincher. From here he moved on to work on the feature-length film Judge Dredd.
Chief Justice, Joseph, together again.
Together again, sir.
For Mean Machine, they used an actor that was thin enough so that they could graft a whole shell of prosthetics onto him rather than having a layer by layer effect. This way it made the actor look more real as Mean Machine. Aphex Twin's Come to Daddy was Chris's first independent music video. Chris is regularly quoted to say that he doesn't find his work dark. He says, "It's just really other people that pick up on the dark thing. It's not my idea of dark at all." If you know Aphex Twin's music, you're most likely to find it funny because it's lots of kids running around with Richard's face, the guy who does Aphex Twin, rather than a bunch of freaky kids. Most of Chris's images come purely from reacting to the soundscape. He says that when he was a little child he used to sit behind the cabinet of his dad's speakers listening to the music, coming up with ideas. He now has a back catalogue of different images that he can use for sounds. Possibly the piece that has stirred the most controversy of Chris's is Rubber Johnny by Aphex Twin, released in 2005. Rubber Johnny is a story about a young deformed man that lives in his father's basement, taking lines of cocaine, listening to Aphex Twin and generally messing about with him and his terrified dog. Chris shot the piece on a DV using infrared. He used plastic prosthetics to create a head mask and the mask for the dog. So that he could explode the head, he placed a glass pane in front of the camera and smacked his face against it, at the same time chucking eggs, milk, flour and condoms at the glass, as well as prosthetic eyes and jaws to make it look as if the head was exploding. The video was originally intended to be double the length. It included a scene where Rubber Johnny would be outside playing around with a girl. They decided to cut this after 6 months of editing, sometimes spending a day just editing 2 frames at a time. Chris would edit the film 2 frames at a time so that he could put the laser shots in, which would be in time with the music and was mostly animated. He says the editing process was more like an animation process. The film raised controversy when the Italian printers refused to print on moral grounds, mostly due to a shot of Cunningham's penis in the film. After working on several productions for war films, Chris has decided to move to a more independent basis, working on feature-length films, one being an adaptation of the comic Ran Xerox 2 Happy Birthday Lubna.